Have you ever wondered what truly sets Tai Chi and Qigong apart? If you're curious about these ancient practices and how they can unlock your hidden potential, you're in the right place. Today, we're not just exploring their differences, we're revealing secrets that can transform your approach to internal energy cultivation. Qigong, the elder of the two practices, traces its origins back 5,000 years. It is a cornerstone of traditional Chinese medicine and philosophy. The term Qi represents vital life force, while Gong means mastering the art of cultivating energy. Scholars and masters often categorize Qigong into three main categories. There's medical Qigong, which harnesses energy for health and vitality. Then there's spiritual Qigong, which helps you connect with the divine through meditation and consciousness. Lastly, there's martial Qigong, which helps you develop a powerful body through energy work. You could say that Tai Chi is the martial offspring. Tai Chi emerged from a martial branch of Qigong about 800 years ago. It's essentially a specific form of Qigong that's focused on martial applications. Every movement in Tai Chi has a purpose, a block, a strike, or a transition into the next pose. If you break down the word Tai Chi, it can be broken down as supreme, ultimate, and Quan or Chuan is fist or boxing. In Western countries, Tai Chi is often used as a term and emphasizes health aspects. Taijiquan includes the martial aspect, with Quan meaning fist or boxing. Despite the different spellings, the pronunciation remains similar. So why are there so many spellings? The more you research into Tai Chi and Qigong, the more confused you may be with the different spellings. There are several different systems for changing Chinese characters into English. Scholars call this process transliteration. The two main systems are Wade Gill's and Pinyin. Wade Gill's was created around 100 years ago for translating Chinese into English characters. Pinyin is the modern and definitive way that Chinese characters are translated and transliterated into English. Many traditions and schools stick to their historical usage and pronunciations. This makes sense because most Tai Chi and Qigong schools are steeped in tradition. However, these different names don't currently meet transliteration standards. This leads to very different and confusing spellings for the same terms. Many practitioners and organizations use a mix of Wade Gill's and Pinyin spellings, which only further complicates understanding. Both Tai Chi and Qigong share fundamental principles. They're both centered in movement, they both use fluid, water-like motions, and they're both systems of internal energy cultivation. They also focus on having supreme health, vitality, and internal power. Despite this, even though they have so much in common, they do have some differences, such as their structuring. When it comes to structure, Qigong often involves repeating single movements. Sequences aren't as emphasized, whereas Tai Chi requires you to learn very long sequences. Sometimes they even have 64 or 108 different movements you need to memorize. When it comes to variety, there are over 5,000 different types of Qigong, whereas with Tai Chi, there are 3 to 4 main styles. When it comes to application, Qigong has a broader focus on health, spirituality, and energy work. When it comes to Tai Chi, specific martial arts applications are emphasized typically. At the Mystery College, we practice a special form of Qigong called Elastic Force Qigong. It's a unique blend that incorporates the best of Qigong, Tai Chi, and modern sports science. Our practice focuses on energy elasticity, developing flexible, resilient Qi through understanding body mechanics. We also unlock the hidden potential in your body by doing specific exercises that develop your facial web. We also use adaptive forms, which use fluid movements that adjust to your needs, whether you're young or old, a complete beginner, or even practicing for 50 years. We recommend beginning with Qigong because it is more accessible for beginners. It teaches fundamental energy principles, It has simpler, more repetitive movements which aid learning, and once you've already mastered Qigong basics, starting Tai Chi becomes more natural. With Qigong, you'll also understand the underlying energy principles and develop sensitivity to feeling Qi. This will make your Tai Chi sessions all the more beneficial. Tai Chi and Qigong offer key distinctions in how they cultivate energy. They differ in their age, scope, and objectives. Starting with Qigong and then moving to Tai Chi is what I would recommend to beginners. Often, people start with Tai Chi and don't learn how to feel or create their own Qi energy. Once you learn how to produce Qi through doing Qigong exercises, you'll find the Tai Chi forms to be far more valuable. Some enjoy Tai Chi because of the tradition and the amazing community behind it. Others, like myself, prefer to stick with Qigong for daily practice. If you're seeking improved health and a deeper understanding of internal energy work, Qigong or Tai Chi offers excellent value. They are both powerful and efficient paths to achieving health, happiness, and vitality. They are both an invitation to unlock your hidden potential and experience the profound benefits of a lifelong practice. By the way, YouTube thinks that you'll enjoy this next video. Let's see they're right.
Can you find this hidden emoji? If you do, comment below and I'll personally respond to you with a virtual high five. Now, let's test your knowledge with a crossword puzzle. If you've been following along, you should be able to solve it using key terms from our video. Here are the hints. Across, current standard for writing Chinese words using Latin alphabet. Romanization system developed by missionary scholars for Chinese characters. Down, traditional Chinese martial art involving slow, meditative movements. Energy cultivation practice involving movement and meditation. One of the primary and oldest styles of Tai Chi. Take a moment to solve the puzzle and feel free to pause the video or watch the video again if you need more time. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.